Welcome to the SBI podcast, offering CEOs, sales and marketing leaders ideas to make the number.
Welcome SBI listeners, readers, and viewers. My name is Greg Alexander, and I am the CEO of SBI, and we are a management consulting firm specializing in sales and marketing, dedicated to helping you make your number. This is the weekly SBI podcast, and it has a single purpose, and that is to help you make your number by getting your peers to share with you how they make theirs. Today's guest is Tracy Cote, and she is the Senior Vice President of Human Resources of Genesys. Genesys is an enterprise software company who is the #1 provider of omni-channel solutions as well as contact center solutions. And let me tell you something, thank God for Genesys, for they are ridding the world of bad customer service, and we are all benefiting as a result. I asked Tracy to be on the show today because her company, Genesys, was recently named to SBI's list of the 10 best companies to sell for in 2016. And as a leader of the human resources team, she played a big role in earning this distinction. So Tracy, first, congratulations on making the list and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Greg. Glad to be here, and thank you for the recognition.
Well deserved. Okay, today's show is meant to help you do one thing, and that is to make your company a great company to sell for. To accomplish this, I'm going to use the SBI magazine cover story titled The 10 Best Companies to Sell For in 2016 to guide our interview. If you want to read about how 10 companies became great places to sell for, pick up a copy at salesbenchmarkindex.com/the SBI magazine. Okay, my first questions, let me jump into these. So Tracy, if I was a hotshot sales rep or sales leader, why would I want to work for Genesys?
Well, from an HR perspective, I'll tell you, we've got a great culture. I think we're a great place to work, and we've been recognized for that on Glassdoor. So you know you'd be working with smart, fun people every day. We're respected in the industry. We've got a great brand name, great products and solution, which makes it easy to sell. So if you're in sales, that's a good thing. And I think our global reach is also a big advantage.
Yeah, I agree, and you're right. You do have great products, and nothing makes it easier to sell than when you have a great product. Okay, let's go to a conversation around compensation. So is your compensation plan competitive? And if I'm as good as I think I am, can I make a lot of money working at Genesys?
Well, we have pretty standard HR practices around benchmarking. So we make sure that our salaries and target incentives are locally benchmarked to make sure we're paying fairly in comparison with the local market and our competitors. And, of course, we're paying out commissions quarterly, which is critical in keeping sales teams motivated. I think our fixed and variable comp are super competitive, and then we have accelerators built into our plan. So our sales reps have a great chance to totally blow it out and make a lot of money if they're good. We're a growing company, and we're fortunate we can attract and keep the best talent.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the key there is accelerators, and that's what the best talent is looking for. You know, comp is only one part of the equation. Let's ask about some other things that are critical to make a company a great place to sell for. For example, do you provide the salesperson with quality pre-sale support in the form of systems engineers, professional services employees, and subject matter experts?
We do. The sales team can't do it alone. So we have a very robust pre-sales team to support our enterprise reps. And then we have business consultants and a professional service team to provide support in both pre- and post-sale stages. This is because in our industry, we really have to sell in a very consultative way, and this breadth of support makes sure the teams and the customers have a great partnership. So pretty much everybody here is involved in the sales process in some way if they're needed. Even our CEO, Paul Segre, and our president, Tom Egelmeyer, are happy to jump on a plane to work with sales reps to help close critical deals.
Yeah. You know, when I was looking at the nominations for this year's list, that was one thing that really jumped out at me about your company is that, I mean, the old saying that it's everyone's job to sell is really true at Genesys, and I have seen Paul and Tom be willing to go visit with customers and help out, so it really is a great culture. Speaking of culture, another thing that top sales talent is looking for is working with a great boss. Have you trained my boss, the sales leader, on how to be a good coach, or am I going to work for a jerk who micromanages me, which is something I absolutely hate?
I don't think anybody wants to work for a jerk, and I like to think we have a pretty strict no-jerk policy here at Genesys. I would say one of the most awesome things about this company is that the people here are really like a family. It starts with making sure we hire the right people. It's much easier to make sure you're not going to have management issues if you hire the right people to begin with. And of course, from an HR and sales training perspective, we offer a lot of management training, and the HR and leadership team is always here to provide coaching and guidance when needed. I think we have a very open and transparent culture that helps that feeling of teamwork, which makes it easy to resolve any concerns that come up, and quite frankly, it keeps any sort of jerky behavior at bay.
Yeah. You know, and I've witnessed that there. I mean, you have above average tenure and below average turnover, which are two great signs that would suggest that the no jerk policy, as we're saying that today, is in full effect, which is great. All right, let me go to technology support. So has your company invested in the latest technology tools that help salespeople be more effective?
Well, we're definitely lucky to have a world-class sales ops team, and I think you probably know some of those folks. And I should add, they have leveraged your company to build out some of our key models and processes. So we now have a suite of tools to create customer presentations, proposals, to do social selling. They are engaging with and training our partners. We have a complete buyer-oriented sales process that the teams use to work with customers through the whole buying journey. And I think all of these initiatives and tools have been extremely helpful to the sales team.
Yep. And I agree. I mean, Steve, your sales ops leader, is best in class, in my opinion. And your company's doing everything in their power to make it easy to sell for, which is great. All right, let's talk about President's Club. So President's Club is an award trip that's usually awarded to the company's top sales producers. So do you offer a President's Club trip for your top performers? And if so, where has it been held in the past?
We do, and we think there's no point in offering a President's Club if you're not going to do it right. And at Genesys, I think we really do it right. So this year, our club members are going to Nevis, which is a beautiful island in the Caribbean. Pretty fancy. And then next year, we're going to send our top salespeople to go on a safari in South Africa. We do have to plan these things a year in advance, so we already know where the next one is. And in the past, we've sent our top performers to New Zealand, Croatia, Vietnam. Basically, we want to recognize the team with something unique, fun, relaxing, and a truly memorable experience. And I think we've done a great job of doing just that.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, those are some special trips. I took my wife to Nevis for our 10th wedding anniversary because that's an anniversary that needs to be special. And the fact that you take your top sales producers to a place like that is really something. So, hey, I just asked you 6 questions, and you went 6 for 6. So for those top performers in my audience who might be looking for a new gig, go to Genesys.com and apply. I must warn you, however, they only hire the best. So if you are not great, don't bother. If you're in HR or are a hiring manager in sales and you asked yourself these questions and you didn't like your answers, it might be helpful to have one of our consultants come see you. We can help you make your company a place great sales talent wants to join. Go to salesbenchmarkindex.com/contact and request a call. All right, let's take a quick break. You're listening to the SBI podcast. Back in a bit.
Making your number is hard. Your problems are complex. Complex problems need complex solutions. Introducing the SBI Magazine. Read in-depth stories written by award-winning journalists about how your peers have overcome their problems to make the numbers. When you need more than a tweet, social post, or blog article, turn to the SBI Magazine. Go to salesbenchmarkindex.com to subscribe.
Welcome back. My name is Greg Alexander, and I'm the CEO of SBI. And my guest today is Tracy Cote, SVP of HR for Genesys. Today we are discussing how she made SBI's list of the 10 best companies to sell for in 2016. Before the break, Tracy and I discussed some of the attributes of a great company to sell for. During this segment, we're going to dig a little deeper. So let's continue our little role play. So Tracy, I'm back in the role of a hotshot sales rep or superstar sales leader, and I decide where to work based on two things. First, how easy it is for customers to buy from us, and number two, how easy it is for me to sell for you. So please tell me, have you studied how the customer wants to buy and enabled the salesperson to sell that way?
Well, we have, of course, and we have a sales process, and I think many companies do, but we like to think of it more as a buying process. So we gear our work to the stages that the buyer goes through when making an investment decision. So it's a persona-based approach, and we're providing our sales team content and guidance based upon buying stage, persona, vertical, and solution to support them in the process.
Persona-based sales process, that's an indicator that your company is customer-centric, which is fantastic. And I wish all technology companies were, but unfortunately they're not. So another distinguishing feature of Genesys. All right, let's go on to the next question. So is the head of sales on a mission to make my life easier? And if so, can you give me an example of how he is doing this?
So our president is also our head of sales. His name's Tom Eggmeyer. I would say he lives and breathes the goal of enabling our sales team. I think everything he does is geared towards making it easier for them. And in fact, make it easy is actually one of our stated company values internally. He's driven programs to automate things like proposals, presentations, organize our content and training so it's easy to find and access. Of course, we're using Salesforce, so that's a great tool we're leveraging as a single point of contact for stuff like requests to our legal team or product management. And then we've also had some initiatives around white space so our reps know just what to sell. And I think the nice thing is that we're still small enough that some of the usual pain points for a sales team, like customization or payment terms or all that legal back and forth required to finalize a deal, is all, I think, really manageable here. We've been on what I think has been a truly successful mission to simplify our products and solutions, and that makes life easier for our sales executives, but also really for our customers.
Yeah. I mean, any company that has a value called Make It Easy is a great company to work for sure. And I personally know Tom, and I can tell the audience that he does wake up every day trying to make it easier for the sales reps to be successful. And that's rare. It really is. All right, let's move on to the next dimension here. So, Tracy, what we found is that the number one distinguishing characteristic of the companies on SBI's list of the 10 best companies to sell for in 2016 is they believe it is everyone's job to sell. And we spoke about this a little bit earlier, but I want to dive into it here. The way they do this is by implementing what we call strategic alignment. And strategic alignment is simply defined as getting the functional strategies of sales, marketing, product management, and HR into alignment with the CEO strategy. And I know you folks are working on this right now. I think you call it interlock or something slightly different, but can you share with the audience a little bit about your approach?
We do call it interlock. You've got the insider track there. So the most important ingredient in being able to execute flawlessly, which is what businesses are always focused on, lies in getting the entire company to share the same vision, mission, and values, and not just work on their own individual goals, but work on community goals together. So our leadership team has really worked closely together to define ours. So we're doing everything possible to ensure that this vision permeates every single thing that we do. So we want to stay agile. So every year we're updating, refining, and communicating our strategic plan and goals to make sure that our leadership team in every department is aligned and that everybody is clear and we're all rowing in the same direction. I would just say, at Genesys, what I think is a differentiator for us is that our strategic plan is more than just, a plan or a document. It's really a set of guiding principles and a philosophy we live by, which for us has to do with things like customer first, innovation, simplicity, execution, and everything cascades from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's fantastic that your company's on this journey. It really is, and it's a great example for the rest of us to follow. All right, if you want to be a great company to sell for by getting into strategic alignment, or what you may call it, and you want a methodology to do this, download a copy of SBI's revenue growth methodology, and you can find that at salesbenchmarkindex.com/2016 report. This is the one and only SBI podcast. Back after the break. You are watching SBI TV. This is a monthly web TV show featuring guests just like you, executives trying to grow their revenues. Each month, you can peek behind the scenes and watch your peers discuss their strategies for how they make their numbers. You are not going to want to miss this. Welcome back. My name is Greg Alexander, and my guest today is Tracy Cote. Today we are discussing how she made SBI's list of the 10 best companies to sell for in 2016. We had a rich discussion in segment 1 and segment 2 about being easy to buy from and easy to sell for by getting into strategic alignment. Let's conclude with some action steps. So Tracy, you are on a list everybody wants to be on. Try to summarize what we discussed today into 3 actions an audience member can take to make this list next year.
We are excited to be on that list, by the way. I would say the 3 things that, from the conversation we've had, I would point out would be first, make sure you've defined your company vision and philosophy and live by it. That strategic direction and alignment is critically important. The second thing would be don't get lost in what you're selling. Focus on what the customer needs and deliver great customer experiences from both product and service point of view. And last but certainly not least would be setting up good processes, resources, and tools. That investment of time is worth it, and I will say SBI can help you with that. They've helped us with it for sure.
Excellent takeaway value. Here are my 2 cents. We have gone from an unemployment rate of 10% to 5%. And in some job categories, such as B2B sales, we have surpassed full employment. The supply and demand equation now favors the job candidate, not the employer. This means it will be very difficult to attract great sales talent this year and into the foreseeable future. You better be a great company to sell for. If you're not, you will have to settle for B and C players, and we all know what happens then. You miss your number. Tracy, congratulations on making this list. I'm really proud of you and your company, and thanks for letting me interview you today.
Thank you.
And a big shout out to SBI Nation, wherever you are today, on a plane, exercising, commuting, or standing in line somewhere. You have turned that mobile phone into your personal learning weapon. Good for you. This show has become number 1 in its category based on the download numbers, and we like being number 1. And you can count on us to show you our appreciation by having great guests on the show like we did today. So until next time, I wish you good luck as you try and make your number.
This has been the SBI Podcast. For more information on SBI services, case studies, the SBI team and how we work, or to subscribe to our other offerings, please visit us at salesbenchmarkindex.com.